Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Phillip. What's up, Phillip?
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Scott?
Greetings and salutations.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
All right, so what is going on with this movie, Venom? What is going on?
So, surprisingly, from what I've seen, which has been coming from a couple of sources, some of which I definitely listen to. I usually listen to these
Hi, Sally.
sources for movies
Hello.
and whatnot.
Hey, Sal.
Hey, Sally.
Hello.
Apparently, the general audience really likes this movie.
But you're saying that, but I'm reading all these negative reviews about it. So where's that coming from?
Yeah, so from what I'm seeing is from a couple of groups on Facebook and whatnot, and there's also a couple other sites that are saying it. Apparently, there's some sort of disconnect going on between like the professional review sites and the general audience that's going to see it. Most of the negative reviews that apparently are coming out from the professional sites are basically saying like the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody's just cut and pasting, maybe?
Yeah, well, not necessarily that. I generally believe that they're real reviews. I don't think that they're just people, throwing shit at the movie.
Yeah.
I think they generally don't like it. But from what I'm seeing and what from like a lot of these other sites are seeing, apparently the general audience is like, yeah, don't listen to them. Go see it.
Yeah.
Like I've actually seen somebody quote that this is the reverse of The Last Jedi.
Oh,
Where it's
damn.
like, yeah, the general audience hated that, but the critics loved it. This is like just the opposite.
Right.
So-
Because a mate of mine saw it today, and he said, "Whatever you read and seen about, I saw it today. It is good. You've got to go and see it." And I even vetoed going to. I booked it yesterday. I booked it to go and see it, and I decided no, I'm not going to go and see it because I've read all the reviews. But now I'm going to see it again. So I'm going to do it. Oh man.
It's very strange. It's a really strange and this is why I'm always of the belief that despite what anybody says about any film,
Yeah.
you really have to go and see unless you're completely turned off by the trailers, in which case I say don't.
So in
go.
other words, when all is said and done, you're saying that most of the fans like Venom so far?
So far, yeah. I mean, it's only been out again for 2 days, and really today is the day that a lot of people would go see it because this is really the opening of the movie.
Well, I want to ask Hayden, did you see it?
Nah.
You didn't see it. Okay.
It looks terrible.
Oh, but I mean,
The bike and the symbiote arms like pull the bike back towards him, like the turd in the wind, like it's just all just so like ugh. It's like this is the kind of comic book movie that makes me feel like it's 2002 again. And it's like
Your audio is very low.
Yeah, I can barely see it. Hear it, I mean.
you missed it.
Hayden, your audio is very low.
Can you be better now?
Yeah, guys. So repeat what you said.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The trailer to me it just looked awful. Everything about it.
Okay.
Just nothing about it really excites me. How can you do Venom without Spider-Man? I seriously can't wrap my head around
I
it.
said that to one of my friends.
How can you do Venom and make it PG-13? That's
Well,
the problem.
you know what's ironic about that, which I agree with that idea that how can you do Venom without Spider-Man, because really Spider-Man is the genesis of Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the fans that I've seen, like read reviews and whatnot, have said that they don't care about Spider-Man not being in this movie.
Oh, that's a good
Which
idea.
to me, that really details who is actually liking this movie. Because I think we said this in a previous cast, Joe. The people that are going to like this movie have no ties or very little ties to the comics, to the story. They're going in this almost blind, and apparently they're enjoying what they're seeing. The one thing that I've seen across all of these reviews, even by people who didn't like it, which surprises me, is that there's apparently some sort of after credits scene that is like unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
So
It leaked online.
it did, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, I don't know. I saw it, it's like, yeah, that's a tease for just the next movie. Like,
It's not like if it's Spider-Man's not in there, so like that's something that would blow my mind. But from what we've got, like I guess it's cool if they end up doing a sequel. But like I honestly don't know the chances of a sequel, and I don't know what box office is going to guarantee that they continue with this with Venomverse. It's not Spider-Verse, it's a Venomverse.
It's $100 million to make.
They're going to need a 50 to 60 million opening at least to guarantee more.
It's going to have to be a $400 million.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be
higher.
at least worldwide 450 to 500 million to guarantee a sequel.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna be honest with
stoked,
you. I don't
folks.
even think it needs to be that high.
Really?
You want to know because we've recently seen movies get less of an opening or less of a global total.
Star Trek
and
Beyond.
they still push the sequel to be made.
Yeah.
So it really depends on who's behind this.
If it's not like an outstanding box office, but the critical reception is really high and the fan reception's really high, then they'll go, well, people are going to spread the word of mouth and we'll probably end up getting a sequel based on that alone. But if it's bad reviews, like they generally, even if it makes decent money, they know that the chances of a sequel are lower.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a little spooked because it's not airing at my Eaton 6. And generally, when it doesn't air at my Eaton 6, I go on the notion that it's not that good of a movie.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, randomly they do get bad movies at Eaton 6, but something like this, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, how much of Venom do we get in a movie? That's what I want to know. I mean, I know it's more of a vehicle to see Tom Hardy's range. Because he's mostly.
I heard he's excellent, they said.
They said that the main thing, another thing that I've seen in a lot of reviews is that the best part of the movie apparently is the relationship between Eddie Brock and the symbiote.
Yeah.
They have really good banter back and forth. They said the weaker parts of the movie are kind of like the things that happen around them.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that the main core of Eddie Brock and the symbiote is really strong. So I don't know if that's, if people are just kind of ignoring the other stuff and focusing on that, or I don't know. It's a different reaction than I was expecting, but it's not like out of the range of possibility to me. Like I could totally see this being something that the critics hate, but everybody goes to see it because they heard it was good from somebody they know.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
So let me ask you a question. Sony is invested in this. They really want to do a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be possible that no matter what, there's going to be a sequel?
I still think there would be.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter what, I still think.
Yeah,
they want to tie in the Spider-Man to it to keep it a bit elaborate.
They want Carnage in the next movie. They want Woody Harrelson, right? So like, even if it did like 200 or 250, they just do it anyway.
It's possible. It really depends on how. Who is behind this? Like, which executive is behind this, or executives is behind this at Sony? And it really depends on how much faith do they have in this. Because to be honest with you, if you were to ask me 2 days ago, the fact that the embargo for the reviews didn't lift until like a day before the movie came out, that usually to me means that they don't have any faith in this. Because they're afraid of the reviews.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like, we knew that the critics are going to hate it, but we knew everybody else was going to love it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you predict something like that, but
I think
I'm just eating some McDonald's. So
all right, I said this before. We won't know anything until the second week.
Yeah.
Because we have to see the drop off percentage points from week 1 to week 2. And this was not just the only news today. It was that we got the 5 minutes of Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that I really wanted to talk to you about, Chris, because I'm sure you saw the 5 minutes of Aquaman, right?
actually no, I didn't, because I have no desire to see that movie at all.
Oh,
so, I mean,
Really?
yeah.
I thought it'd be up your street, to be honest. But
Wow. So you just didn't-
I really wanted it to be, but after that first trailer, I was kind of like, yeah.
Okay.
I actually thought it was a little better than the first trailer, but
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It wasn't like a trailer. It was showing action sequences and stuff, right? I mean, it was 5 friggin' minutes. It was like, whoa. I liked it. And you got to see him wear the classic Aquaman outfit at the end.
Ooh, woohoo! Wow! If my camera was on, you could see me holding myself back after that
Listen,
excitement.
I mean, look. Do we want all the movies to be like, "Do you bleed? You will."
No, you don't.
You know,
Absolutely not.
And of course, that was after he walks away, though. So
I want a movie to do well besides Wonder Woman. I mean, could Aquaman be it? No.
Sure.
yeah.
Oh.
It's going up against Bumblebee, though. So, I mean,
Oh.
you know, you threw those G1 designs in there. Now everybody's like, Transformers is the best thing to ever hit the screen.
I'm waiting for
I have a
GoBots.
question.
I'm sorry, folks.
I have a question for you, Chris.
Live action GoBots.
Did Madame Tussauds lose the license for Bumblebee? That's why they painted Bumblebee green?
I have no idea.
'Cause I think
Maybe.
I sent you a picture where I had it on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that.
Why would they paint him green and make it like before it used to be say Transformers Bumblebee, and then they say robot with spare parts? Like, what the hell happened?
Well, to be honest, I mean, after the last night, I would probably try to cut any ties that I had with Transformers.
Wow.
But now they're probably seeing that Bumblebee trailer and they're like, damn it, we shouldn't have painted this thing.
Right.
But, you know, I don't know. See, that's the big wild card here. It's who has the more nostalgic ties to the
Because
audience.
it was like this green, basically.
Yeah.
The thing with Bumblebee, though, is that as amazing as it does look, every Transformer trailer tricks you into thinking it looks amazing, and they all turn out awful. It happens every time. Every time you go, oh, wow, this is the one, and then it's always terrible. Like, people were losing their mind over the Dark of the Moon trailer when it came out, and then it was Age of Extinction. They're like, oh, my God, it's a reboot. Turns out to be the worst one of all. And then last night, turns out to be even worse. So this, even though it's not Michael Bay, I'm still going into there like hesitant, but like there's this like 8-day window in December where there's like 10 movies opening, all competing against each other, and it's like, are you guys nuts? Someone should move, because not that like they should move because other films deserve to have the spot. Like, don't you want to make money? Like Aquaman, do you want to make more money? Like, you should move, because Aquaman, if it moved back to November, could make bank, but in December it just seems like it's dead. They're all going for that Star Wars spot, and none of them are going to get the same amount because there's so many films.
And isn't like Mary Poppins in the Star Wars spot?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Disney, and people. I mean,
That was one of the reasons why Solo didn't come out in December.
She may kick everybody's ass. Really,
She's got that umbrella.
she might kick everybody's ass. I think it's going to do extraordinary, Mary Poppins. So, what else? There was something else too important. Well, listen, not that's important, but Margot Robbie wants to be Barbie
Oh God.
Why?
because they don't like. She wants to be Barbie, I guess.
But she likes playing dipsy roles then.
I don't know. And Bryan Singer is getting a huge dollar amount to do Red Sonja reboot. Wow. I don't know.
And here my camera is broken, so you can't see me
I know.
holding myself back.
And we got the DC Universe for the streaming service. They basically listed Titans, Young Justice, Doom Patrol, another Young Justice thing, Swamp Thing, Stargirl, and Harley Quinn.
From what I've heard, Beast Boy's hardly even in hardly any of the episodes.
Wow.
That's
Now-
because the CGI cost to make him transform into animals is probably through
Yeah.
the roof.
Yeah.
That's what the one gal said.
We're gonna close where I'm gonna say something that's really got me pissed off in the comic world there. I read The Edge of the Spider-Geddon, which is the big Spider-Man sequel to Spider-Verse in the comics. And again, something that really pisses me off is that, one, the storyline didn't start, okay? But you just revealed the whole damn thing in Edge of Spider-Geddon 3, where they have a little thing where the guy's talking about something that happened, and they're like, see Spider-Geddon 3. Now, that pisses me off beyond belief, because they've been building this thing like every spider's going to die. The Spider-Geddon, all the spiders are going to get wiped out, blah, blah, blah. And now you just revealed, basically, spoilers, that they defeat whatever it is, and they're all alive. In fact, not only is that probably going to be an actuality, but if you see the comics come out in December and January, they have magnified the Spider books tremendously, where everybody and their mother's got a comic that's a spider, okay? You have Superior Spider-Man, Miles Morales getting another #1. Spider-Gwen still going strong. The Vault of Spiders, what the hell is that? Spider-Force, what the hell is that? Now, Spider-Man, who already has Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, is getting a few more titles. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and then something else. It's like, are you kidding me right now? You're flooding, literally, the market with spiders. Like, you're gonna crash and burn. People are gonna get annoyed. This has happened before. This happened in the 90s. You're expanding Spider-Man so much, like he was in the 90s, where at one point in time he had like 5 books. Not only that, but you want to maintain a bi-weekly status where every book is like $4. You're gonna bankrupt your fan base. And now Marvel is doing what they did a couple of years ago, where they're throwing everything to the wall like the DCEU was with movies. Marvel Comics Presents is coming back. The Invaders is coming back. You have Defenders coming back. You have every damn thing that they've had is coming back. Marvel Knights, for no reason but this. At the same time, a month apart, there's gonna be magnified like 50 extra more books or something like that. It's insane. And you're gonna have, they're not even predicting it, but I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be such a story about this, because there's no way these comics cost $4, $5, sometimes $8, $10 each. Okay?
They're killing themselves.
The X-Men book's going to be $8, and they're going to be multiple covers of $8. The kids cannot afford this. I don't care how good the economy is. It's ridiculous. You're gonna destroy the market. You're gonna destroy the comic
It's
shop.
the 90s all over again. This is exactly what's going to be.
People are gonna dump everything, and you don't even see it, Marvel. You're causing, even Walking Dead is dying in the comics, which is why he's gonna probably end it soon, because people turned off already. Enough. It's the same shit. So like, he's creating multiple comics to take over that, so it doesn't, the blow isn't big for Walking Dead. He's creating like 2-3 different things. So we cannot, I mean, just think about that for a second. Amazing Spider-Man twice a month. Then you got Peter Parker once a month, right? Then you're going to have Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, Superior Spider-Man. You're going to have Vault of Spiders. You're going to have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. You're going to have another company that's doing a Spider-Man comic that's kid-friendly. That's happening. Then you're going to have they're going to probably have a Marvel team up with Spider-Man and Marvel Tales. It's going to be ridiculous. They're probably going to have over 15 Spider-Man titles every month. That's insane. Insane. And you know what, Chris, you know what the big thing is that was today that shocked the crap out of me? Was that Disney and Marvel just commissioned them to start writing a script for Dark Avengers movie. Because that is going to be the thing after Infinity War Part 2 or whatever it's going to be. That there's not going to be an Avengers movie, but there's going to be a Dark Avengers movie.
It's very similar to what we keep hearing with DC, where they're apparently trying to do this Justice League Dark movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does, like, I can see where they're coming from. It's just going to be kind of strange because, you know,
they're going to call it Dark Avengers, and it's going to be the villains.
Yeah.
Been a lot of news this week. That we had the Man of Steel 2 pitch from Christopher McQuarrie with Henry Cavill. Did you hear about that?
But that's not happening, though.
No, but I'm just saying it was out there.
Okay.
Like, news, like, Christopher McQuarrie said to Warner Brothers that he wants to make Superman 2 with Henry Cavill. They want it to be the classic Superman, and Warner Brothers like, nah, we're doing Supergirl and Batgirl. We don't have time to do Superman.
Yeah.
You just no to the guy who just brought Mission Impossible Fallout to the cinemas. You're going to say no to that guy.
Yes.
You can do fucking Supergirl. Did you see the last
he wants to make Superman a light character instead of dark, and that's why.
Female Wonder Woman is the success story, so they want more female characters. That's wrong.
I'm appalled. I just think DC have no idea what to do.
Well, Ben Affleck's going to be Batman now, I heard, right? He's
That's a
working
rumor. I don't believe it. I really
He's
don't believe
working out
it.
right now, isn't he,
It
Chris?
doesn't matter. He could work out for any movie. It doesn't need to be Batman. Like,
I think he's going to be Batman. I think.
Yeah, I actually agree. I agree with Hayden on that one. I don't.
They had a meeting.
He's wanted out since November 2016. I don't think that out of nowhere he's just going to come back and say, I want to be Batman 2 years later, because
he's under contract, though.
No, but remember, Matt Reeves' trilogy that he's working on is with a young Batman. They're not working on Ben Affleck's Batman for that script. It's got nothing to do with him. That's going to be Batman in the 90s.
But
like
Henry Cavill is not. His contract is over.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck still has how many movies under his belt he has to do?
Well, this is the thing, though. Like, he's been so on and off about this part that I still don't think they know whether or not.
He just came out of rehab and he's all gun-ho to do Batman.
Well, I mean, I can understand that, but my thing is, though, how long is he going to remain that way? You know?
I mean, he's doing one more. He said he'll do one more.
But the point is that why would Warner Brothers go, okay, we'll use you for one movie when they clearly have different plans now to what they did a year ago? Like, how can he come in and just demand that, well, now you've got to change your plans again because I want to be Batman? It's like...
Because they'll integrate the Jared Leto Joker movie and make it a Batman Joker movie.
But I think they know that didn't work. Like, Jared Leto was awful. And I think they know the audiences... Look at Justice League's box office. Like, it's terrible. It's the worst of the DC movies.
But they have him signed, and they promised him they're going to film it. Like, he's getting a movie.
Studios dump an actor overnight. If they don't want to use him, they don't have to.
They don't want Marvel to have him for Morbius, so they want to try to clog that.
Yeah, but do you really think they want to use Leto? Because he was terrible. He was awful.
I think that the Marvel DC hatred is more powerful than anything, and they don't care about losing money. They don't want him to be in a Sony Marvel movie. So yeah, I think. But
I'm not gonna go pay to watch a Jared Leto Joker movie because I just think
they care. I think they just don't want him to do a Marvel movie. They'll just pop it out. It'll make maybe a few million extra. Profitability, but they just let me tell you something. Ego is a very powerful thing. Egos,
yeah. People
are fucking determined. They don't give a shit if they spend $300, $400. It's a tax write-off. They don't. They are really this whole thing with everybody taking each other's actors. while they have the writers and everything from the comics trying to mend the fences, and they even have like the big wigs trying to mend the fences, the hatred is real. The anger is real. Like, it's almost as if they're actual entities alive that are fighting each other. Like, this is a thing. Before you get a regular actor, it's how do we say F you to Marvel this time? And this is what they do. Even Marvel, they could get somebody else. And they purposely do this. And you see this so often. It's ridiculous.
But they've got this year they've got a new guy in charge of production over at DC, in charge of the films. Like, he's the new executive producer overseeing all of DC. He's called Walter Hamada. And basically he's come in and said, this is the new plan. We're going to redo things kind of without completely redoing them. And I just don't think that they're going to risk having another flop with Batman by using Ben Affleck. Because it's not going to be a $1 billion film. You're not going to make money out of Ben Affleck's Batman because the audience clearly just doesn't care at this point. They didn't show up for Justice League. They all bagged him in Batman Superman. And so kind of against the role, and I think the public knows that he has no interest at this point, that I don't think that you write a Batman trilogy and he's only going to be in one movie anyway. Like he comes out and says, I want to do one movie. It's like, well, we're not going to change our plan to give you one movie. Like, if we're doing Batman properly, you can either stick around for 3 movies or you can go. And I think the logical choice is to do the standalone movie with Joaquin Phoenix. If it's popular, then do the 90s Batman movie, which is what Matt Reeves has written. The movie's set in like 1997, and have Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in the 90s against the new, younger Batman. I think that's the direction you take going forward. And I think you don't worry about Justice League now because clearly nobody's going to show up for a sequel after how awful the first one was.
They're definitely not doing a Justice League 2 right now. It's so out of their range.
Justice League did it number 2.
They'll never do a Justice League 2. They'll do a Justice League movie at some point, I think, but it will definitely...
I don't say never. I don't think it's off the table, but I think there's going to be a lot more female characters in the Justice League.
It's sad when Ant-Man makes more money.
3 years when they get themselves a decent Superman and Batman movie underneath their belt.
You'll have Supergirl and Wonder Woman in Justice League, and then they'll have whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're getting Harley Quinn movies makes me just not interested at all because I do not fuck about Harley Quinn at all. I don't care.
You know, there's a cartoon coming out on, I believe it's Netflix with her.
But I want to see Superman. I want to see Batman. I want to see Green Lantern. I want to see the actual Justice League movies. I don't care about Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I don't care. Like, that's not what the main audience cares about. Nobody knows who the Birds of Prey are.
Safe bet because of Wonder Woman's big success, and that's the sad thing.
Yeah, it's just capitalizing and being impulsive, going, well, this girl movie works, so now let's make all female DC movies because it will work. And it's like, no, like, just make good movies.
You need to have them by themselves, and they need to have a couple of Superman movies, a couple of Batman movies, but nobody wants to listen. They want to make so fractured universe that everybody gets a movie.
What? The next Spice Girls movie is going to have them being partway through the movie superheroes.
Let's call it what it is. Supergirl was the $2 cheap spin-off of Superman. It was this stupid, silly spin-off version of Superman. I'm Superman's cousin. It's dumb. It was stupid at the time. Stupid.
I really like the TV show, but I think that's not fair that the TV show is popular.
Yeah.
Spinning off of that.
Well, the TV show is popular, but it's not going to justify making $500 million at the box office. You know what I mean?
Well, a separate actress now. They got a new actress.
Look at Power Rangers. It's a huge hit show with 20 years of nostalgia. The movie made $100 million worldwide. It was a flop, and it was a good movie.
They're making a new Power Rangers movie because whatever was, they're going ahead now with it.
Yeah, but
we lost big money here. lose another 20 grand.
No, but who bought? Somebody bought it, didn't Chris? Didn't somebody buy Power Rangers?
Hasbro bought the brand,
And
and
now
now they're like, okay, we're doing all this shit with it. Yeah.
Let's pop out the movies.
It's the thing with TV. Just because it's popular on TV doesn't mean the movie would work. Like, look at all the Star Trek Next Generation movies. They were flops. Nemesis made, like, no money. They
Wait. There weren't. Here's the thing. The movies weren't flops, but Nemesis was kind of a flop. The other ones were successful to continue.
It was a downward spiral. They just kept going down and down and down.
They didn't do as well as Kirk's team. Like, they wanted Khan money and Search for Spock money and Voyage Home money. They were popular. They made sequels. They made enough to get a sequel, but they were getting a little leery, especially with Insurrection.
Yeah.
And then
Insurrection was the worst one.
Yeah.
And then they had to do the tie-in with the Next Generation.
No, Nemesis was the worst one.
But by the time you got Nemesis, the fan base
Next
was
Generation. So.
But what was the thing I wanted to say before we got out of here? It was something I had to say. It was important too.
You see the Mandalorian?
Oh, that
looks great.
That looks good.
I'm
sick.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Honestly, there's like gonna be a bold claim. I honestly think that's gonna be the best thing that Disney's done with Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be aimed at adults. It's not going to be aimed at kids. It'll be aimed for an older audience.
Yeah.
It'll be like the first adult Star Wars program.
I think that alone is gonna sell that streaming service.
Oh my God, it's gonna.
I think that alone is gonna be the
It's
main
going to be
thing
huge.
that people sign up for.
Yeah, I can't even begin to think what they're going to do with the show.
I just get the chills looking at that one picture.
Yep.
Oh, that is an awesome picture, yeah.
It gets you excited when
the Clone Wars animated series coming back for the last season. That's going to be big too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Well, that coming close up is pretty soon, isn't it? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Also, it's time to cry bullshit with the Halloween movie, because the whole purpose of making it was to kill him off, and now they feel that, so they changed the ending, and there's gonna be a sequel next year. That's what they're saying. That they're heavily gonna speed up, and they're gonna make a sequel. It's gonna be out in 2019, at the height of all these movies. That before the movie's even released, they're saying it. They're about to announce it. It's getting it. So the whole point of John Carpenter trying to prove that Michael Myers is not immortal, just to prove a point against Rob Zombie, he got money and he changed it. That's it. All about the green. And Toys R Us is back.
Yes, I saw that.
Toy Box is the rebranded Toys R Us.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Guys, I'm going to head up. I'll talk to you a bit later.
Okay, bro. So, yeah, Toys R Us is going to be back. Jeffrey's Toy Box. They're not allowed to call it Toys R Us, but it will be Toys R Us. So
I'm wondering if it's going to be like an in-mall thing first up, or...
No, it's going to be exactly the way it was.
Okay.
But here's the problem that people understand. Everybody's like, yeah, that's great. You just laid off
how many people?
Thousands.
Yeah, are you going to rehire all those people?
No, they're not.
Are you going to rehire the people who weren't close to retirement age?
That's messed up.
Yeah.
You laid off tons of people. You messed up the whole economy almost, like just screwing that up. And now it's like, yeah, we're back, but we're not on anybody. It's like, wow. Come on. We called that, though. We said that they would have schemed.
We were calling bullshit on that, too.
We said that they were trying to find. They're getting the best lawyers in history. They were getting.
We were thinking.
We said that. We're like, oh, there's no way.
Thought what was the other KB? We thought they were
going to bring KB back, make money, and then bring Toys R Us back.
Yeah.
They would do all this weird shit. Yeah. FAO Schwartz is opening, and they shouldn't. Toys R Us should lose all their properties because they went bankrupt. They bought KB Toys, like ownership, the rights, the name, everything. They bought FAO Schwartz. So if that still exists, then Toys R Us must exist. So they did some weird shit. I don't know who they paid off. I don't know what they did. But anytime somebody goes bankrupt, they're done. So somehow, some way, they got out of it. I don't
They're
know
just
what.
rebranding the old shit. That's all they're doing.
Somebody did some shit, or somebody saved them, or something, because there's no way the bank would have been like, it's ours. So somebody paid somebody off. Or billionaire probably stepped in. Somebody did something. So Toys R Us is saved. And KB Toys is coming back too.
Yep.
So that's all I got to say about that. But you know what though? Lower your damn prices. Maybe they should.
Yes. And set it up like the old way, which Joe's been talking about.
Oh, KB Toys, the blue rugs and the exclusive.
Set up as a damn maze if you want certain things.
KB Toys should have like the old school retro look with the blue rugs, the exclusive toys, the exclusive things. No cheap crap from China. Like, you need the actual hottest merchandise, the hottest exclusives.
Yeah.
Collectibles.
It sounds like you're trying to gain a monopoly on this on a lot of toys. Then do it that
Everybody
way.
benefits from that.
But
every toy company will make exclusives for KB Toys, and it'll be the biggest thing ever.
Yeah, look what they do for Comic-Con. They always say you can only get these particular figures at Comic-Con.
Yes.
You've got your two versions. You've got your regular version, and then you've got your exclusive to KB or.
I'm actually happy that they're both coming back, because the without a toy industry, like, everybody's gonna lose money. Like the action figure companies, this. They need a Toys R Us. They need the thousands of Toys R Us's and thousands of KB Toys. Everybody buying it. The economy's going to be tremendous. It's going to do so well. So everybody wants them to come back, because it will help the economy like you would believe. And I agree. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. Things are going to be crazy tomorrow because I have to work open and close. So I don't know if there's going to be any cast tomorrow. But there definitely will be Sunday. So Doctor Who and Rick Grimes and all this stuff. Oh, and by the way, before we go, as much as people were talking nice, it looks like it's leaning towards the fact that they are going to kill Rick off, which is bullshit. And I hope they don't, but I'm a little pissed off. So we'll have to wait and see. We have like 7 weeks or whatever, 6 weeks. So we'll talk about that too. All right, guys. Oh, and American Horror Story was freaking excellent.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? It was good. It was
freaking excellent.
I don't want.
I'll talk about that on the Horrorcast. All right, guys. Take care. Bye for now.